Greetings, it's your favorite YouTuber Bloxy. So as we all know, the Azure update released a bit ago, and with the Azure update, loads of things changed. From new skins, especially for my goat cool kid, to balance changes, to even the death of looping, and of course, the new killer Azure. As most of you probably know, Azure is 2 times Spawn called Bestie who got British then bandied because Spawn and stuff. And now is the latest killer in Forsaken for 2k player points. And in today's video, I'm here to talk about them and more. So without further ado, let's get into things.
The hashtag Flower Power update.
Well, frankly, I'd argue it's one of, if not the best update Forsaken has ever released. The new killer is super fun to play and, well, livable to go against. I swear, if I see another pea shooter plant, I'm gonna personally burn down every single. Aside from that, they're pretty good. At least it's not another dash up killer who copies my goat cool kid. Plus, the update added plenty of new features like the LMS card or the heartbeat. Overall, this update feels really refreshing, especially after how dry Forsaken has been feeling. And I'd say is on the level of the Noli update or the Strangers of the Past update. But of course, I'm not here to talk about Azure. I mean, every other YouTuber has probably made 1,000+ videos talking about every single little bit of this update. Nope, if you read the title, then you know exactly what I'm actually here to talk about. The one, the only, Nosferatu. Yup, in today's video I'm going to compare the two updates and see why one is so loved while the other is hated.
Who the hell is this random bat guy? And why are you wasting hours of your time talking about him? Seriously, get a job.
Nosferatu was the 7th killer added to Forsaken. Added on November 28th, they were a killer based off some random old Roblox outfit. They were unlocked using 3,500 Sukas, a currency found in the Halloween event. Before his release, testers would test him in public servers, but he was hidden using the Spectre effect to, well, hide the secret and stuff. Nosferatu was the first and only surprise killer Forsaken has ever had, and well, to put it simply, he was kinda a random addition to the roster. I mean, I remember thinking this was some kind of joke killer or they were only limited time considering they had no skins, were unlocked in such a weird way, and had absolutely zero hype for them. Okay, well, technically they were the shopkeeper for the Halloween event, but let's be honest, nobody, and I mean nobody, expected him to be added as a killer. And well, safe to say, after the hype of a new killer died down, people began to question what on earth the devs were thinking adding him. Not only did he have nothing to do with the rest of the lore characters, not only was he extremely annoying to unlock and takes loads of grinding, but he was also extremely OP when he first released. It felt like a slap in the face to all the future killers who the devs have been hyping up for months, like Azure Doombringer, who, keep in mind, is still not even in the game. Nosferatu literally skipped the line, so of course, the Forsaken fandom did what it does best and hated on the update. People made videos on how Forsaken lost its identity. Check it out, by the way, it's peak. People were quitting Forsaken due to the unnecessary grinding involved in getting him. And in general, people were just kinda upset. Now, while personally I do get that he was a kinda random addition to the cast, at the same time it is a bit ungrateful to complain about a completely new killer, which, keep in mind, the devs had just added a new killer and survivor less than 2 months ago. Now, some of you might be asking, but wait, isn't Azure also an OC? And well, yep, they most certainly are. So one would have to ask, why is Azure so loved while Nosferatu so hated? And well, I got a pretty simple answer to that, and it all comes down to one thing: integration. How I describe integration is how well a piece of content fits into the already established content in the game. For example, by now Jane Doe has been in the game for a couple of months, so if I were to ask you whether they feel new or like they feel like a part of the Forsaken cast, one would most likely respond that by now Jane Doe feels right at home in Forsaken. And by now I don't think of Jane Doe as any different when I see somebody play as her. It's just another survivor. Now compare that to Nosferatu. If I ask somebody if Nosferatu fits in with the rest of the characters, they'd most likely say no. And well, it all comes down to 3 main things that makes Nosferatu stick out compared to the other survivors and killers. Those being:
1. No, seriously, who is this guy? Oh, wait, I mean lack of skins.
Nosferatu is seriously lacking in the skins department, as compare this to Azure, who released with over 20+ shop skins and milestones. Nosferatu is practically starving. These skins allow for a decent amount of variety when both facing and playing as Azure, instead of using the same skins over and over and over again. And take it from the guy who first started playing Forsaken simply because of the funny sand skin. Skins matter, and they will be the difference between me wanting to play Nosferatu or sticking to good old Reliable. Also, the lack of milestones hurts even more. Due to not having any milestone skins, there's technically no other incentive other than for completionist sake to get him to level 100. As most people would level up a character for the sake of their milestone skins, but in Nos's case there's no reward whatsoever for all the time and effort it takes to get him to milestone 4. I mean, it took me over 4 months to get him to milestone 4, simply because I never felt like getting it, and well, there was no real reason for me to. But as if that wasn't bad enough, the lack of milestone skins also hurt his storytelling and lore, considering a lot of milestone skins are often used as a great way to expand on the story of a character, such as 1X gaining power after he's separated from Sheletsky, becoming a 4th dimensional being. Milestones are a great way to tell a character's story, and Nos not really having any really hurts any chance he'd have of anyone enjoying his lore. I mean, sure there is that one NPC that like lore dumps a lot, but let's be honest, who reads those things? Like, I have Milestone for Nos and I have no idea what that thing is. I've never bothered finding it. All these problems lead to the only real people who'd ever want to play Nos being people who made him due to his kits. But of course that also has problems, as the next big problem regarding Nosfer is
2. Nosferatu's confused identity.
Nosferatu since release has always felt like a weird mix of different killer abilities put together to make one killer. And while I'm sure that's not entirely true, it does lead to Nosferatu's playstyle being quite confused. I mean, to this day, players still can't decide whether he's an all-rounder, an ambusher, a stealth killer. Nosferatu simply feels confused on who he really wants to be. Because, well, I mean, if you show me 1X, I can safely say he's a projectile killer. Or if you show me Azure, I can safely say he's an area denials as trapper killer. But for Nos, honestly, I don't know. And that lack of a real role compared to other killers leads to less people playing him, as if I want to play a snowball killer, I'll play Sixer, a trapper, John Doe. But for Nos, he's simply a jack of all trades, master of none. And to add salt on the wound, another problem he faces is
3. Nosferatu's lack of lore relevance.
For this one, I'll just put a simple idea. So you know how special last man standings happen when the killer and survivor are related to each other in some way, e.g. Cool Kid and N7? Well, I'd say in theory, most killers could have a special LMS with a survivor, as Slasher of course has Guest 1337 due to the Bacon War, Cool Kid has N7 and Elliot, John has Jane and Builder, 1X has Sheletsky, Noli has N7, Sixer has Noob, Azure has 2-time and Duzakar, but Nosferatu? Yeah, Nosferatu has literally nobody to have a special last man standing with. Every other killer in the game has at least a small connection to a survivor or survivors, but Nosferatu, the only connection he has is to the Spectre himself and Slasher. And well, I doubt Slasher is gonna have an LMS with Nosferatu anytime soon. So this just leaves Nosferatu feeling disconnected from the rest of the cast. I mean, realistically, if you remove Nosferatu from Forsaken, would anything really change? No, like actually. Compare this to like removing Sixer. Remove Sixer and suddenly Noob has no reason to be sad. They're busy living their best life outside because they never met Sixer, but remove Sixer, nothing changes really. That's the biggest problem with Nos. Realistically, there's nothing he adds to Forsaken other than just being another killer. He doesn't impact the story of the game in any real way. He doesn't really add anything too special as a killer. I mean, they don't even know what they want to be, so who cares? And in general, Nosferatu's addition just kinda feels unnecessary. But well, I've complained enough about Nosferatu, so how about instead of complaining about them, I try to actually do something to make them better. So this is how I'd personally hype up, release and integrate Nosferatu into Forsaken.
How to fix Nosferatu.
Okay, so I've talked about the issues with Nosferatu in Forsaken, so how would I fix them? Well, let's start from the beginning, with the days before release. First of all, I'd make the shopkeeper Nosferatu say more lines about being sick of doing nothing, such as the night draws to its end, the dawn holds surprises yet to be told, or
I am sick of you ruining my song. I am going to personally get you in about 52 days. Mark my words.
okay, maybe something a bit better than that, but still, doing something like this would at least hint towards Nosferatu's reveal as a future killer. Along with that, I'd rewrite some of Nosferatu's lore. So basically, I'd make it so that Bloxians were actually hateful towards vampires, as due to their curse to drink blood and stuff, they were known to hunt down Robloxians. So after enough reports to Roblox HQ, the admins finally decided to take action and hunt down the vampires, including Nosferatu. And of course, Prime Shaletsky, Doombringer, Builderman, and Dusakar are not losing to a bunch of bad people. So eventually they wiped out most of the vampires. This led to the remaining vampires going into hiding and trying to search for the Necrobloxicon to finally rid them of their curse. So this is where Nosferatu comes in. Nosferatu was one of the vampires assigned with searching for the book, and since most of them believed it was held in Roblox HQ, he was assigned to try and attain the book in Roblox HQ. Now this was around the time Shaletsky was missing due to his emo phase, and Builderman was busy doing who knows what, so the only person left in Roblox HQ right now was Dusakar. Now, of course, Dusakar wiped the floor with Nosferatu and kills him even after Nosferatu begs for him to just fix him. So, Nosferatu is then transported to the Spectre's realm where he's offered a choice. Would you want to be my right-hand man in finding others? Of course, the Spectre most likely didn't say it directly, but gets the point across. So this leads to Nosferatu helping the Spectre scout out new potential victims for his realm. And of course, Dusakar is one of them. Now you might be asking, out of all the survivors, why is Nosferatu connected to Dusakar? And well, it's for two simple reasons. First of all, practically all the other survivors have connections with other people. And second, Dusakar's connection to Nos would help show the dark side of admins, as if you're not one of the people they help, they can actually be quite a nightmare. But of course, this ultimately backfires as John Doe, 1X and Doombringer ended up finishing all the other admins. Also, I see potential for the link between Nos and Dusakar to be a one-way hatred. Dusakar doesn't even remember Nosferatu due to him doing this practically every other week, dealing with hackers and exploiters. But to Nosferatu, Dusakar ruined him and his people's lives instead of helping them. Also, both are loosely Halloween inspired, so there's that. Also, this leans into the themes of the admins having power to prevent things but not noticing or being negligent. Lastly, with this rewrite, some stuff would most likely need to be changed, such as a custom kill animation with Nosferatu and Dusakar, and maybe a LMS, which I'd imagine is just a remix of a Grave Soul now run, since to Dusakar is just another killer, while to Nosferatu, he finally gets to kill his lifelong enemy. And of course, I couldn't fix Nosferatu without giving him some Milestone skins. So here are my ideas for Nosferatu's Milestone skins, going off the rewrite I gave him. But before I do that, I'd just like to give huge thanks to No Name for making the art, because frankly, I can't draw Nosferatu if my life depended on it. So thanks a bunch, I couldn't have done it without you. So Milestone 1 would have him look like how he looked before anything happened, when he was a part of the Bat Squad. And removing the mask would also go with the pre-established rule of milestones can break the rule of a character, such as Jane's eyes or N7 not having the face in their milestones. Also, I'd imagine Nosferatu just running at top speed to the survivor since he never learned how to fly. Then moving on to Milestone 2. Milestone 2 shows Nosferatu as the admins wiped them out. Basically his Milestone 1 outfit but more damaged, and Nosferatu's eyes are now hidden to hide his, well, the fact he's a vampire. Also, I'd imagine the render would be him looking at Dusakar killing one of the bats while trying to hide and, well, being scared and stuff. Moving on to Milestone 3. Milestone 3 would have him start to get affected by the Spectre, with aspects of the Spectre seeping into his design. As he signed the deal with the Spectre, essentially signing his soul away to it. He would start to have powers similar to Friday the 13th Slasher or March 18th John Doe. And lastly, in Milestone 4, it would have him fully utilizing the power and control the Spectre gave him to the fullest. Along with this, Nosferatu would most likely have a custom kill animation, basically sucking out all the blood out of a survivor, and then finger snapping them to the lobby. And for Dusakar, it would have him devour him brutally, and then killing him by stopping him on the ground. And I'd imagine the chase theme would be something similar to Old Forsaken music, because normally I associate Old Forsaken music with the Spectre, so I'd imagine that it would be using similar instruments, like Advent John Doe. Anyway, that's all I have for my rewrite of Nos and his lore. So, this solves 2 out of 3 problems, but there was still one thing I haven't addressed yet, and well, that's his playstyle. And frankly, I just say make him a full stealth killer. I don't know how you do that, because frankly, this channel ain't for balance. I know other channels that are better for balance, but you know, maybe you guys could come up with an idea. But anyway, that's all I have for Nosferatu. Make sure to subscribble dibble and like if you enjoyed the video. And to the 2 Nosferatu mains, hope you enjoyed what I cooked up. Anyway, bye. Wait a second. Hold up. Wait, no. Don't end this video yet. Look, the devs just released the two Milestone 1 and Milestone 2. And guess who called it? Guess who called the idea of Milestone 1 and Milestone 2? Which means that by the time Milestone 3 and Milestone 4 comes out and it shows him being corrupted by the Spectre, guess who called it? Just you wait. Just you wait. I'm gonna be right. Just you wait, and then you better come back here and tell me that I was right. Because I guessed it right, and okay, I guess I should end this video now. Bye.
Hello, I'm
WD